welcome back to the movie short. Today I am going to describe a crime thriller called Girl in the Basement. The story begins with our protagonist Sarah and her father Dawn, who rushes Marie to the hospital because she has trouble breathing. Sarah began to panic when Marie stopped breathing. She called for the next morning to drive faster. When they go to the hospital, Dawn orders Sarah to stay quiet in the hospital, and rescuers rush to help Marie. They gave her oxygen and tried to save her. But what they got was a flat hard line on the monitor. The story goes back 20 years ago, a seemingly peaceful family dinner scene. Sarah and her sister Amy are having dinner with their parents, and Irene. The mood at the table changes when Sarah's father shows his tyrannical side for not letting her go to parties and show reign over the family that night. Sarah sneaks out with boyfriend Chris. Her parents find her room empty. And her father called her a problem at the party. Sarah enjoyed dancing with Chris at later, singing a song he wrote especially for her. They showed love to each other and kissed Sarah home in the morning. Dawn waited for you all night. They quarrel and Sarah said that when she was 18 she would leave her family. Sarah spoke to her mother and sister about plans to travel around the country while working to support herself. Her father overheard the conversation and went to the basement, where he revealed the existence of a secret room behind a bookshelf. Conversations Sarah had with her mother. It is revealed that her father spends more time in his man's den when Irene leaves the house. Dawn tricked Sarah into the basement. As she helped him carry the box there, he led her into a secret room. Tell her it's a sanctuary built by the previous owner. He locked her in a room. And she screamed in panic for help. Unfortunately, no one heard her because the shelter was soundproof. Of the mother cat are worried about her whereabouts, called the police. On the fourth day her father visited her and coldly explained the transport of her captivity. From now on she must get everything she gets, even clean. The heir before leaving the Dawn was taking advantage of Sarah. A policeman came to visit the family, saying that she was likely to set off on a planned long trip across the country. Her mother did not believe that Sarah would leave the house without saying goodbye, especially before her 18th birthday alone, and fear that Sarah will reminisce about the night she spent with Chris on the day Chris came home. Dawn lied to him and told him that after graduating, Sarah ran away with her childhood neighbor Steve on the 21st day of incarceration in the basement where she celebrated her 18th birthday and brought up her father. The cake and red pajamas were given to her as a present as she asked for the watch. And he told her that she had to do something for him. He will do something for her when she disobeys him. He beat her for almost a year. After being held captive she was revealed to be pregnant and her water broke alone. She gave birth to a girl named Marie. 4 years later Sarah is pregnant again. Faye, Irene and daughter Amy and another in the basement with Sarah and her daughter Marie. Still worried about Sarah, Irene's whereabouts, wants to hire a private investigator, but Dawn firmly says there is no gift of being a good person. Dawn brings the TV in the basement for Sarah and Marie later. Sarah has a second child, a boy Michael. One night, Sarah makes her terrifying life story a bedtime story full of princesses and knights. She told her children that Chris was visiting the house again to ask for her sister Sarah that Amy had told him. They discussed the horrors he had with Sarah Amy, fearing that Dawn might kill her. By citing his personality and bad temper in the past to pass the time, Sarah creates imaginary adventures for her children to help them forget about the outside world. Meanwhile Dawn is faced with his lies by Amy and Irene. The gruesome battle angered Irene and shouted that she would do whatever she could to find out her daughter. During the fight Dawn dropped the key on the armchair. Amy takes the keys and walks around the basement looking for clues. Dawn finds that she has his keys back and fights Amy. She felt fear and blamed him for causing Sarah to disappear over time. Passing with Sarah, there was another baby girl she named Thomas, a nice and calm person. Sarah convinced the morning to take the third child upstairs. She persuaded him, explaining that there was no room for another baby in the basement. And she didn't have time to take care of it. The little boy was left on the porch for Irene to find her in a heartfelt message in the baby basket that looked like Sarah had written. She wrote that this was her child. And she wanted Irene to raise it in her letter, explaining in that she and her boyfriend had no way of caring for the baby in the basket. There is another record from Sarah asking for help. Unfortunately, it was Dawn who discovered it and abused her again as the years passed in captivity. The children developed extraordinary imaginations and expanded upon their mother's bedtime stories until Sarah has now been in the basement for 14 years. Marie grows up to be a beautiful young woman one night trying on makeup when Dawn shows her interest in beauty. Sarah pleaded with Dawn to leave her daughter. She alone did not want her to be harmed in return. Vaughn turned off the light that controlled the fresh air as he gasped. Marie expressed concern that she would never meet anyone and have no friends throughout the conversation. We realize that Marie had no idea that Dawn. Both her grandfather and father groaned. Thomas found his grandmother crying in his mother's bedroom. Irene misses her daughter. And talked to Thomas how beautiful Sarah is. Together in the basement, raindrops began to fall from the ceiling. Sarah climbed to find a damp roof. She used a spoon to find her way to the surface. Which she flashed a distress signal. The neighbor noticed and told Dawn about it. Instead of watching Dawn dance pregnant Sarah again. The beating cost her the baby as she sobbed from pain. Sarah giving birth and Dawn buried the baby in the yard. Dawn goes to the basement and complains that he is praising Thomas, who is now a strong athlete when Kumar is, and Michael asks when they will be taken to the outside world. Dawn blames Sarah for her bad behavior. She is the reason they are pressured by the endless questions of their children. About their lives. With anger, Sarah shouted and destroyed them all. Their furniture is exhausted. She fell to the ground. Think of her happiest time with Chris, her children covering her with blankets and cleaning their home. They apologized for her mood. Sarah tells them they are old enough to hear the true story behind their lives in prison. So far, they know that Dawn lives upstairs with Aunt Irene to help take care of Thomas, sick of all the lies. She tells them everything from the fact that her life gently inspired their favorite bedtime stories. She describes Dawn as her father. Just like their father, the moment Marie discovers the painful truth that she has severe asthma, the children now feel that something is wrong with them. Sarah reassured them that she loved them and that Dawn was the only one who was blamed. A year later, another incident happened between Dawn and Michael after Dawn insulted Sarah and her appearance. Food for the cellar was being allocated at Dawn. There was a problem at work. Soon he lost his job facing foreclosure. Dawn tries to suffocate the family in the basement. He connected the exhaust fumes of the car to the vent. He was interrupted by Thomas in the garage, which unwittingly saved their lives at Dawn. And his family has a fun barbecue in the yard. Marie is sick, suffocating. Dawn refuses to take Mary to the hospital. Sarah asks him for help. She promised not to say anything about what Dan agreed. Michelle was left behind. 20 years of incarceration has passed and now we're at the beginning of the movie. When Maurice was taken to the hospital, Sarah was very worried about Marie's life. And it was really relieved that the doctors saved her life when the nurse asked for additional medical records that she was informed of. Marie studied at home and received only natural treatments. Sarah slowly scanned the hospital for a solution. But she looked tired and lost in her attempts to escape. Sarah, spilling water on medical forms and splitting from Dawn seconds before Dawn reached her. Sarah went to the nurse confessing that she needed help. The police officer went to talk to Dawn. The police arrested him. Sarah declares Marie safe, and the house is filled with cops who let Michael go too. Irene and Thomas are devastated to see Michael gasping for the air as they carried him out of the basement. Dawn saw everything from the back of the police car. On a beautiful summer day, Marie, Thomas and Michael play in the countryside while Sarah, Irene and Amy watch over them from the balcony. Marie noticed someone from the driveway, Chris. He arrived on a motorcycle with Sarah. They go for a walk. He regretted that he didn't try harder to find her. And because she believed in her father's story, he gifted her a pink motorcycle helmet that she bought when she was 18 when they were planning to start their journey. Finally happy together, they rode the long-awaited motorcycle. If you like it, please like, subscribe, and press the bell, so you don't miss the next movie from Movie Shot.